And then the third verse that he mentions in the chapter, in Surah An-Nahl, ayah number 25. ليحملوا أوزارهم كاملة يوم القيامة ومن أوزار الذين يضلونهم بغير علم ألا ساء ما يزرون. And this is something also that shows that how the disbelievers, when they are told, and that's the previous verse, وَإِذَا قِيلَ لَهُمْ مَاذَا أَنزَلَ رَبُّكُمْ قَالُوا أَسَاطِيرُ الْأَوَّلِينَ. When they were told what did your Lord brought down, they said legends or the fairy tales of the people of the nations before. ليحملوا أوزارهم كاملة يوم القيامة, for them to bear their own burdens in the day of Al-Qiyamah. ومن أوزار الذين يضلونهم بغير علم, and from the burdens of those whom they misguided without the lack of knowledge, without knowledge. ألا ساء ما يزرون, how evil it is what they bear. And this is it shows the ilm of Imam Muhammad Abdul Wahhab rahimahullah, that this ayah shows that those who follow the wrongdoers, right, they get a sin, and the wrongdoers, or those who call them to the wrongdoing, they get also the like of their own sins, of these sins of the people, because they are the ones that were the reason for the people to fall into the sin. On the other hand, the same thing with good deeds. If you're upon a good deed according to the way the Prophet ﷺ, and you call others to do it, or people, they see that by following you, you get the same reward of those who do it without diminishing the rewards, as the hadith of the Prophet ﷺ, which makes it very scary thing. For a person has to be extremely careful when it comes to evil sins, when it comes to matters of bid'ah. And as again, with sins, yes, people imitate one another, and the ayah can apply to the same subject, which is the major sins. But the reason why this is mentioned specifically for the bid'ah, because people with decency, if someone is committing a sin, they might really see it that this is a sin, and they don't want to follow him in the sin. But when it comes to the bid'ah of the deen, right, and there are people that love the religion, they want to be righteous, and they see someone, and maybe that person might be of knowledge or so, and they would see him that he's doing some act of ubudiyyah to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. They think that this is good. Many people, they don't ask, because we don't have to ask, right? If you have a person of knowledge that you trust his knowledge in his religion, right, and he follows the way the Prophet ﷺ, do you have to ask, why this is what you said, or what's the evidence behind it? You don't have to. The alim doesn't have to answer with an evidence, but you have the right, of course, to ask. But if he says that this is a good deed or this is a bad deed and so on, this can be in some talk or something of that nature, or one's actions. People would imitate the people of knowledge. So if someone is inventing something in the deen, people would follow him, and they would carry their sins also in the Day of Judgment.